Hey, it's Huntington disease Todd here. So, today I want to talk about finding contentment in Huntington's disease. Either with you having it or the family. Is it possible to find contentment through all the struggles of this? And in general, can you find also contentment in life? I'll preface this by saying that, there was a post the other day where there was a family, that had lost several family members to Huntington's. And a lot of the debate, was, kind of unhappy, obviously, with the disease, unhappy even with God, unhappy with the whole situation. And, I can understand that. And I can, see where people would have, so much, anxiety and anger and those kinds of things that build up. But, in life, we're faced with all kinds of things. And we're faced with just a couple of choices, which I'll talk about in a second. But in life, we're faced with challenges, all kinds of challenges, how we get along with others and how we get along with people we meet, those kinds of things. But, the challenges of other kinds of diseases too. Huntington's is more challenging than a lot. I do agree with that. But finding contentment in life is not unbearable or over, something that you can't find. Now, I'm coming at this from a little bit of an angle from the fact that, I have Huntington's disease, so maybe my brain is changing the chemistry a little bit. But, family members and loved ones of this situation, what are two things that you could do in a situation that you're faced with in life? And, this goes back a little bit to earlier on in my life. I spent quite a bit of time working in men's ministry. I learned a lot through church, but I also took that into the field. I went into prison ministry. I did that for 10 years. So, and I did training manuals there. So I'm not coming at this, just from a blindsided opinion. I'm coming at this from, a well-versed opinion. And also, I had a mother, who was almost on a saintly level. She really taught me, how to treat other people, how to treat situations that we get involved with in life. So through that all, I've been able to apply, kind of a, simpler rule. I don't always jump on the bandwagon and say, that HD, Huntington's disease sucks, or, this disease is this, that, and the other, and to heck with everything and everybody about this disease. I don't think it's pleasant. And I do say again, I don't have it as bad as some others. So I've clarified a little bit that I've been in a ministry type situation. So I've faced a lot of the challenges that people have as far as trying to overcome the things that we get into in life. And I also had a mother that taught me very well. But there's two choices that you get to make in life. When you find out about anything, whether it be, a situation of any kind of magnitude in life, and I was going to say like, breaking up with a girlfriend or, meeting someone that you just don't always get along with, people that don't rub you the right way. You can judge, you can file judgment, or you can find forgiveness. So that's the two terms that I'm going to be using. Judgment and forgiveness. And you get to choose. You get to choose how you decide and how you act and how you feel. So it's hard, and I don't always make the right decision, and I don't want it to be like that at all. However, I've learned a lot over the time, and I faced a lot of situations. Now, back when I was selling homes and real estate, I had to bite the bullet a lot of times on what I really thought I wanted to say or how I wanted to judge the situation. So, the judgment of this thing too came up the other day when a young girl was on a page, and she was younger, and she found out that she had Huntington's disease. She found out that she had a rather higher CAG, and then she had gotten pregnant. So, the immediate reaction from a lot, or not all people, but a lot of people on that group was, oh my goodness, why could you do that? How could you do that? What did you do that for? Well, it goes back to, in those times, what do? Do you judge someone, or do you forgive someone? So, I started looking back on some of her other posts. I found out that she, was diagnosed when she was younger. She was only 22. She found out that she had the number that's 53 on her rating of the CAG. And she was young, and she was a woman, and she was in the fruitful years of multiplying. Plus, she didn't have family members, and her parents were gone. The mother that had Huntington's had already passed away, and she dealt with that. The people that judged her on the page were probably quick to judge without really always thinking about it. But what if you took the route of, hey, what could be else involved in this situation? And maybe I can find forgiveness in that. Maybe I can find hope in that. Maybe I can find something out that I didn't know. Wanting to curse God over this disease, that's the easy, judgmental kind of way that we can, excuse ourselves to hate it, or, to not want to deal with it, or be mad at it. But we can also find forgiveness in situations too. I found that forgiving other people it makes your life a whole lot easier. When you forgive others, it takes the burden off of you. I was thinking about calling it earlier on judgment. Can you find fulfillment in life? But you know what? With judgment, you do find fulfillment, because you find fulfillment either way. You can find fulfillment when you judge someone harshly. You can find fulfillment when you don't. So fulfillment didn't seem to be the right word. It's contentment. How do you find contentment in life in general? It's not hard. It's not easy by any means. And I don't mean to, act like I have found, the saintliest part of the whole life. I've dealt with things wrong. I've judged people wrong. But at the end of the day, if you can take a step back before you, jump head feet into things, you might be able to find some forgiveness in you. Forgiveness makes you feel better. There's no doubt about it. One time someone said, if you carry a grudge against someone, or if you hold something against someone else, it's like you taking the rat poisoning and you expecting them to die. And I always remembered that, because that's how that bitterness in us can be. We can go our whole lives being bitter, upset, and angry, holding on to the hostilities of life, or we can let them go. And if we do, then we're not the one taking the rat poisoning, as it would be. And, I learned that even early on with my mother. And I said it before, probably don't necessarily remember it at all. But, one time, someone had taken things, and she heard about the story on the news, and, they might have stolen something off of, a bicycle, or they might have stolen groceries or something like that. And she said, well, sometimes in life people need things more than we do. And that always kind of sat with me in a way that I was like, dang, that is another way of looking at things. So if you really want to find contentment in life, it can happen, even with Huntington's disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, whatever it is. And again, maybe my mind is getting a little bit softer or easier in my judgment. But as a family member, it goes a long ways if you can just step back for a second and try to think of the softer side of you in presenting yourself to your loved one. Again, we can't change the things we do, the way we act. The disease is not going to change. Maybe they'll find a cure or a way to treat it in the future. But right now, because of the way it is, Huntington's disease can be ugly and nasty and unfriendly and that sort of thing. So all that being said, if you want to find contentment in life, it starts with you. Judging others doesn't help a bit, and I've done my fair share. But if you can find forgiveness, when you forgive others, it really is like an opportunity for you to. Sometimes, too, you can find hope in forgiving someone else. You can do a little bit of research and find out that the situation that you judged wasn't, the way you thought at all. Sometimes when you look in the background of other people's lives, you'll find out things that you never knew. And I'll just finish on this. I've been watching some episodes of NDEs, they call them, near-death experiences, because I'm curious, as to how that all ends when we leave this world and go beyond. And all of those people said that the forgiveness and the love is the main thing that they always remember. And when you forgive someone, it offers you the opportunity to show them love, and it offers you to have, a kinder, gentler spirit in you. And there is a light in all of us, and we can share it, I do believe. Takes a little bit of work. I'm still working on it myself. But hey, this is Huntington's disease Todd. And this week's video took a little bit longer to get to, but it was because I really wanted to think through, how I could present this in a way that might help some family, some loved ones, and people that are affected by this disease. It's never easy in life, to find contentment. And it's always easy to judge, rightly or wrongly. All right, so have a good day. Try to forgive someone today. Huntington's disease Todd.